Hey babies, how are you? Welcome to Sorpresa Fierce Cooking Show. It's been a while since I've done an actual cooking show. I've been talking a lot of mess about grinder and dating and men and this and that and the Super Sons and Willis and Wade and 24-year-olds and Elizabeth Taylor. But today we're actually gonna freaking cook. Yeah, I've been really wanting to present my vegan or somewhat vegetarian recipes. There's a few of them that I really like a lot. I still really can't get away from like the soy products that I really enjoy, and introduce them to you and see if you want to try them, see how you feel about them, because I totally love these recipes. There's going to be maybe 2 or 3 that I'll do consecutively and just get it out of my system and just say, okay, I did it, I shared it, and maybe, you'll enjoy it. Now, these are recipes that I do exclusively, yes, pretty much exclusively in my rice cooker that you see behind me. It's an aroma rice cooker. I use the brown rice setting for this recipe, and actually for all of my recipes. It used to be Papi Food Processor that was the star of this cooking show in the early days. Now it's this rice cooker. And she's a she. Papi Food Processor is a guy. They told me they're sex. So today we're doing what it appears to be a vegetarian recipe because it will have egg. But other than the egg, there's no animal protein at all, okay? And what would I call this? Sorpresa spicy vegan beef crumbles, squash, eggplant, and broccoli sorpresa. Which means surprise in Spanish. I'm a big surprise, honey. So, we're gonna go through the ingredients. Now, this is a real secret recipe, I tell you. If you could find this online, Butler Foods Taco Crumbles, this is an amazing product. I've used this for my pasteles that are vegan, when I do the vegan beef pasteles. I've done this for my Puerto Rican alcapurrias that are vegan. Instead of using meat, I use these crumbles. Follow the recipe on the bag, and then I'm not going to give you all the details. I'm not going to give away all those secrets. But prepare the beef for those recipes the way you want to. But for this recipe, what I do is I use it straight up dry out of the bag, and I add it to all the ingredients in the rice cooker. And it ends up being really cool. Now, if you're looking for a low carbohydrate dish, this is not going to be a low carbohydrate. And even with this, the taco crumbles, they do have carbs, a certain amount of carbs per serving. Because I'm on a low carb diet, actually keto, this recipe is not very keto at all, not keto friendly. But the taco crumbles I'm going to use, and I'm going to use 90 grams that, according to the calorie intake and protein listed on this product, the 90 grams would be equivalent to 6 ounces of protein on my food plan, okay? The other sources of protein that I'm adding to this dish are 2 eggs. And the 2 eggs are going to be cooked like scrambled in a nonstick skillet separately, not all put into the rice cooker, though it can be done that way. It can be. And who knows, maybe in the recipe I might get lazy and just throw the eggs into the whole thing. It's actually ends up being like a big vegetable mush, but it's really tasty. Now, the taco crumbles is the mild chipotle, if you could see there. So it has a nice little spiciness. It has a good amount of cumin and garlic already in the seasoning of this, so you don't really have to season it. And maybe I'll do a recipe of how I season this separately as a meat substitute filling for the pasteles, alcapurrias, and for my vegan empanadas. This was a hit when I had my food stand in California. The way I did the filling was pretty remarkable. Actually, I auditioned for MasterChef and I didn't tell them the empanadas were vegan, and it passed the taste test when I auditioned in California, along with my cashew cheese and my homemade salsita sauce. Okay, I'm bragging, but no, it was really cool. So the taco crumbles is going to be 90 grams. That's what's going into this dish. There's eggplant, there's kabuka squash, which is my new boyfriend, and broccoli. Okay, so it's 8 ounces of each vegetable. Now you can do the ratio whatever way you want. 10 ounces of squash and 3 ounces of eggplant. I like kind of keeping it all about the same. So I have a cubed eggplant. I have some beautiful, I love broccoli. I tell you, I love a vegan. I love vegetables. I love vegan. I think it's so delicious. And then I have kabuki squash. It's just amazing. Amazing. This is just amazing. I love it. I could eat it every day. It got me in trouble because my blood work is like, my doctor's like, for my age, I need to have more protein and I need to be exercising like to the point that I'm in pain every day. So we have the vegetables covered. We're using just 1 tablespoon, maybe 2 if you want, of olive oil. We're using smoked paprika. I've introduced this brand before on my show, Chicoling. We're using about a half a teaspoon of sea salt, 1/4 heaping teaspoon of the smoked paprika, and we're using some Whole Foods brand 365 ground cumin. Okay, if you have garlic powder, you can certainly add that at this point too. I stopped using garlic powder because someone said that my breath tastes like garlic. My kisses taste like garlic. I didn't like that. So I don't want my kisses to taste like garlic, darling. They said that about Marilyn Monroe on Some Like It Hot. But anyway, Tony Curtis said that. And then I have my homemade sofrito, which is cilantro, green pepper, and onion. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of that for this recipe. We're going to use about a half a cup to 3/4 cup of water because the taco crumbles are going to need some moisture. That's how they hydrate and that's how they cook. Okay, but you don't want to overcook the taco crumbles because they'll get very mushy and they'll lose texture, they'll lose some flavor. This recipe really takes no more than 20 minutes or 15 minutes actually. What I do is then on the side, once I see that the squash is soft and everything's cooked up, the eggplant, the broccoli, and the taco crumbles, everything is kind of cooked up well, then I cook the 2 eggs separate on a skillet, I scramble it, and then I add the mixture into the skillet with some sliced red onion fresh on top, and I eat everything out of the skillet. You'll see all that. I may not do the eggs that way. I may add the eggs to the whole mix. You'll see that too. Okay, so let's get to that. Yay! I'm cooking for you. We're gonna turn on the rice cooker. There's a power button here at the bottom. I don't know if you noticed that. I know it's a little distant. And it's the brown rice setting. Okay, so the first thing I like adding is the oil and the recao. Okay, and so we're gonna do that now. We're adding a tablespoon of the olive oil to the rice cooker. Okay, now the rice cooker is heating up, and that's fantastic. And that's just lovely that it's heating up. If you start me up. If you start me up, I'll never stop, never stop. Oh, if you start me up, if you start me up, I'll never stop, never stop. Oh, you make a grown diva cry. You make a grown diva cry. You make a grown diva cry. 'Cause you're so fine, like this recao. You're so fine and tasty, I can lay you on the couch and go, ow. Tablespoon of olive oil. And then we're gonna have about 2 tablespoons of recao. You can do a little heaping on that because you can never go wrong with recao sofrito. And this is homemade, so this is great. Okay, then we're going to add the water. We're going to add 3/4 cups of filtered water. So, here's water. That's a half a cup and about 3/4 cup there. Okay, so what I like to do at this point too is to add my spices. Now I did tell you about the smoked paprika. So we're going to add that. She comes in a cute little tin. And it's a 1/4 teaspoon. heaping. And you know, the smoked paprika gives color, and I found that this smoked paprika, it gives it like a meat flavor, more of a meat flavor, since there is absolutely no animal protein like beef, real beef in this dish at all. And then the sea salt. Now, the taco crumbles has a good amount of sodium, but I like putting a half a teaspoon of salt to this. Yay, Mama's cooking again! Woo. And I love me some cumin, honey. What Puerto Rican is not? You could probably snort this, make lines of it. That's quite the quarter teaspoon of cumin. Oh, and for this too, I like adding Spanish olives at the end. And like I said, I believe previously, I like putting some fresh red onion. Mostly organic vegetables I try to get, but red onions for sure. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give this 5 minutes because I want the recao to cook a little bit with the oil and the water and stuff before adding the vegetables. I'm gonna add all the vegetables at one time, okay? Let me see, do I really want to do that? I think I'm gonna add the eggplant first, then add the squash, but within minutes. And then add the broccoli, and when I add the broccoli, I'm gonna add the taco crumbles, that's what it's called. Because it really, the taco crumbles with the absorption of the water and the heat and the spices takes 7 to 8 minutes to cook itself. I find the kabuka squash cooks like 4 to 5 minutes, so everything cooks really, really quickly. But we're gonna give this 5 minutes on the timer, and I'm gonna cover it. I just wanna get like a little bit of boiling heat up, and then start with the vegetables, okay? So we're gonna be back. I'm gonna put the timer on for 5 minutes. Okay, you're so cute, I love you. You love me? You glad to see me again in the kitchen? Oh, you're so cute. Alright, we'll be back. Hey! There you go. It's 5 minutes, yeah. I love when that stuff happens like that. Synchronicity, that's what it's called. The rice cooker's going. 5 minutes, perfect, perfect, perfect. And so what's happening in the rice cooker is that she's got some steam going on, right? She's got vents back there. Maybe you can see a little bit of the moisture coming up. Really nice. Okay? Oh yeah, so I like to cook the recao sofrito. If I was doing it on the skillet, I would want to cook the sofrito and the cilantro, green pepper, onion a little bit with the olive oil. That's how I was taught. You cook that up first. Then you add the ingredients, right? I mean, you could do it all in one shot. It's still all gonna cook, but that's the way I was taught, and that's the way I want to follow it, right? My mama, may she rest in peace, was the one who taught me how to cook. I like my eggplant very, very stewed, cooked. And you know, you could add a little bit of tomato paste or tomato sauce to this recipe to kind of give it that of the la salsita, but I try to keep a low acid type of dish as well. So I'm gonna go with the eggplant. I'm gonna put that in first. And then you're gonna see this. What you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna stir it all up, right? Just to make sure that the eggplant is cooked up with or mixed up with the liquid. You know, that's just what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to stir it up, honey. So that's good. So what I'm gonna do there now is give it 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes for the eggplant to just kind of get going a bit. The rice cooker works on temperature, so whenever you add something else to it, the temperature is going to probably go down a bit, and it needs to heat back up. Like with anything, if I was cooking on the stove, you add something and it has to cook back up. Same principle here. So we're going to set the timer for 2 minutes, and then we're going to be back, okay? 2 minutes goes very fast. Okay. The eggplant, yep, I would have liked it a little bit more. Yeah, yep, gotta be honest here. I'm gonna give that a little bit more time, so I'm gonna put the timer on for another 2 minutes, okay? You still love me for that? Good, okay, we'll be back. All right, honey, the heat is on. The heat is on. Now she's there, now she's there. So figure 5 minutes, 6 minutes maybe on the eggplant. Again, that's to your liking, but I like my eggplant, like I said, very stewed, okay? So what I feel takes longest to cook is like the squash. Do you like my fancy containers? Ever since my cooking shows, I always use these cool containers. I have no shame, honey. I'm not here to impress anybody. It's just a cooking show, honey. So we have 8 ounces of kabuka squash. I love kabuka's Japanese squash. Lovely. Very, very carby. They say butternut squash is higher in carbs than the kabuka. squash, but I don't know about that. Kabuka is pretty starchy, almost like sweet potato. Lovely, lovely. So I'm gonna land that in there. I'm gonna stir it up. Yeah, good. I'm recording there. Right. I am going to give that 5 minutes, and then add the rest of the ingredients, and then finish it off. So we'll be back in 5 minutes, my loves. Okay. Wow, I wish you were here. It smells so good. It smells so good. The squash is cooking up. The heat's really up now. Okay. I don't know how much time we've been. 8 minutes, 10 minutes. The heat is going up really, really nice. So we want to make sure that we put the combos and the broccoli before the squash gets too soft. But you don't want the squash to get too cooked, okay? You're going to need at least 8 minutes for the taco crumbles, which is the 90 grams. 30, 60, 90, yes. And then the 8 ounces of broccoli in a cooled container. Right? But you're going to want to stir it all up. And you're going to have to want to gauge if you need more liquid, because you probably will. So we did like a 3/4 cup. We're going to add another 1/2 cup of liquid, because you'll see on the screen that this is pretty dry right now. The broccoli, I could have cut her up in smaller pieces, but I didn't, but she'll cook down a little bit. And then let's go ahead and add, actually I'm going to add another 1/2 cup and another 1/4 cup. Right? That's basically all the ingredients, all the spices, everything. Okay? So we're going to put the timer for 10 minutes. No, 8 minutes. And then check back. Okay? So we'll be back. Alright, darlings. Oh my gosh, we're almost done. I'm going to take the easy way out here. I'm going to add the eggs to the whole mix. You'll see this. Okay? 2 eggs. Yeah, she's getting done. So I just cracked the eggs, honey. Just crack the eggs. Put it in there. There's still moisture in there, so the eggs will cook up. There's only a tablespoon of fat in this whole dish. You don't want to go too low fat on your meal plans. You want to have a good amount of healthy fats. I'm just going to stir it a bit. Stir the egg in. There she goes. Okay, so you could see that. Hopefully. Okay, so just gonna stir it up. Give it another 5 minutes. And then we will be back. So I'll set the timer again. Okay, great. Hey y'all, she's ready. She's ready. I'm gonna plate her, but she's ready. Yeah, she's ready. She's lovely. Anyway, I hope you try this dish. It's really nice. I'm gonna plate it. I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit. I'm gonna taste it. I'll post the ingredients and everything and whatever I can in the description. I really would like for you to try this as a vegan or vegetarian dish. You could do a vegan egg substitute instead of like real eggs. I love vegan diets. I love it, but it ends up being too high carb for me. And I can't handle that at my age. I need low carb, low carb, no sweeteners, artificial, no sugar. You know, I haven't done sugar in 34 years, no alcohol, but low sugar, low carb now because of cognitive health and my physical health. My blood work is showing that I actually need pure animal proteins. So that's why I wanted to squeeze these vegan recipes out and introduce them to you because they're so fabulous. There's another recipe with these Butler Foods soy curls with the squash and shiitake soy noodles and ginger and oh my god, and sesame seed oil. I gotta do that, and it's a rice cooker dish. So sometimes, or a skillet. Either way, I'll show you. Okay, so I'm gonna plate this now. Okay, and we'll be back. Hey, darling. This is it. This is the final dish. Sorpresa spicy vegan beef crumbles, squash, eggplant, and broccoli. Sorpresa. It's a big mush. It's not the prettiest dish in the world, but it's certainly vegetarian. It is, without the egg, it would be a total vegan dish. Really, really nice. Really delicious. I find it so satisfying. It's lovely. Okay, so I'm gonna sit down now and try some. Hey y'all! So the recipe is done, y'all. The recipe is done. Oh, I should have recorded on this camera the whole time. But this is the dish. Look at her. She's a big ass dish, honey. She ain't playing, girl. This is a lot of food here. So on my little food plan, this is 8 ounces or 8 servings of protein, 6 servings of soy, which was the vegan beef, which was 90 grams dry, the taco crumbles, 2 eggs, and then we had 6, 12, 18 ounces of vegetable, and only 1 tablespoon of fat, and then the spices that I placed in the dish. And I'm the kind of girl that likes using a spoon. Forks are for fools. I have this one spoon, is my favorite freaking spoon in the world. But let's get back real close up to the dish, because the camera can take the close-ups really nice and clear. Isn't that great? She's lovely, and she's got the Spanish olives. I don't cook the Spanish olives in, because if I cook the Spanish olives in, Spanish olives have a lot of salt. And if you cook the Spanish olives in, it'll add salt to the dish, and you really can't control that, because the longer you cook the olives in, the saltier it gets. So you gotta watch that. I always put the olives at the very end. I wish you were here to try some of this. I could have cut the broccoli into smaller pieces. They're pretty chunky, like my breasts. But here's to all of you. I want to thank you so much for watching this episode, supporting the channel, helping me monetize the channel finally after 15 years. I really appreciate that. And I think I'll be bringing more recipes to you, and I think I'll be using the camera because it looks so much better. Here's to all of you, your health and your happiness. So good. Try this dish at home. Some more will be following, which will be rice cooker and then skillet vegan recipes. Okay? Take care. Bye. Thank you.